Hi guys, and welcome to a video log. I don't do a lot of these, and typically it's because I don't feel like they're really relevant. They don't really add much to the channel, but certain events the last couple days have been weighing on me pretty heavily, and I just kind of want to talk to you guys about them because I think that there's something that can be done, and I'm just hoping that if I can change one person's mind or kind of help out somebody in some way, that would be worth taking the time to do this video and posting it on the channel. So. In particular, I'm referring to the cowardly acts of murder, both in a church in Texas yesterday as well as in Manhattan a couple days ago. And, everybody has an opinion on this stuff. I'm not unique in this way. But I think that a lot of people want to blame it on a particular ideology, or they blame it on video games, or they blame it on the weapon, or they blame it on what their ultimate goal is, but I don't think that's really what's going on here. I think that there's something else going on here. I think there's something a little bit deeper. I think that we as a society have devalued human life. I think it's as simple as that. We've decided that anybody who is not with us, who's at the opposite side of the aisle of us, is not a human, but is a monster or an ant. Evil to the core or inconsequential. And I think that's the only way that you can actually justify the actions that these people take. And I don't think you can do something without being able to justify it to yourself, at least. I don't think you can do anything without justification in your own mind. And I think that's how they're doing it. I think that's because I don't think that when they bring the sights up to their eyes that they see another human being. I don't think if they did, I don't think they could have pulled the trigger. I think that you rationalize these things. And you hear about people in times of war, they rationalize these things. And they don't see a human at the other side of their aim, their gun. They see whatever they need to see to allow them to pull the trigger. And I think it's no different with what these guys are doing. Whether it's a car or a gun or a knife, I don't think it matters. I think that the justification is the same. We as a society have decided that human life isn't worth preserving. And I'm not a particularly religious person. I'm not. At least I don't follow any organized religions to the degree of which other people do. I kind of have my own thoughts on that matter. But what I do believe is I do believe that every single person is born with the spark of the divine. And you decide what divine means to you. Divine doesn't have to be a god. It can literally just be something that is worth saving. And I think that's true. I think that we're all born with something that is so special and that human beings are so incredibly powerful, more powerful than we could possibly imagine for ourselves. Our ability to change the world is incomprehensible, not even for ourselves, but the world in general, as well as for other people. No other creature can do what we can do, and I think that is worth protecting. But I think a lot of people don't believe that. I think that a lot of people have come to the point with the divisiveness, both in this country of America as well as in other areas of the world, has reached such a point where we're allowing ourselves to see our enemies, whether they're political or whether they're ideological or whether they're just, and some people's enemies are people who are happy, right? But we allow ourselves to devalue human life to the point where we don't see a human there anymore. We see something else, something that either doesn't matter or is so evil that it has to be taken care of. And I think that this happens in every aspect of our lives. People politically on the left and on the right both are guilty of this, where they look at the other side and they say all of them is one type of people and therefore we should hit them, or therefore we should attack them, or therefore we should silence them. On both sides this is happening, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous, because when you dehumanize somebody to a point, whether you're going to do it or not, somebody in that group is just crazy enough to make a logical leap from, if they're a monster and heroes slay monsters, therefore I would be a hero if I slayed the monster. It's gonna happen if we tell each other and ourselves that the person that we're looking at across the aisle at is not human. We have to stop. Like, I don't care where you stand politically. I don't care where you stand on ideologically. I don't care if you're religious or not. What I do care about is that you believe that humans are worth saving, and that means yourself too. I think that depression and suicide have the same sort of thing, where you look in a mirror and instead of seeing a human, you see an ant, or you see a monster. And And I think that's the same way that we get into this thing, but you're projecting onto yourself instead of other people. Well, you are worth something. You are divine. You are special, and you are worth preserving. Every single person is, in my opinion. But as a society, we don't believe that anymore. I don't think. I think as a society, we've decided that if you're not with us, you're against us, and if you're against us, you have to be removed from the equation. And from that point, some people might try to do it politically through deplatforming or whatever, but from that point, once you have decided, right, that the only answer is to remove that obstacle, it only takes one person to think about removing them in a way that's more permanent. And I think that's what's happening. So I just wanted to come out today and just let you guys know that you gotta stop. I do it too occasionally, to people I don't like or I disagree with, but we have to stop as a society saying that if you don't agree with me, you need to be shut up or removed. You're a monster or you're an ant. We can't look at people that way because people are not monsters or ants. There's so many different facets to a singular person. You can't possibly quantify them, I guess it'd be more of qualify them with a single word or even a group of several words. We're so diverse that there's no words to describe any single one of us. We're just so many stacked sets of different identities and personalities that you cannot simply use a word to describe us or to group us. We're special. Every single one of us has got potential the likes of which this world has never seen and will never see again. And if we pass and when we pass, the world will not be the same. It's true, in my opinion, at the deepest level of truth that you could have, which is that things change. Whether it's your siblings' lives would change if you left today, or your parents. But don't forget the amount of people that they interact with. The world is not the same when one single person leaves. So why are we treating human life as if it's expendable? It's not. We're supposed to protect things that are sacred and unique and special, and we're not doing a very good job at it. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a weapon thing. I don't think it's what religion you believe in or don't believe in. I think that the problem is that we've stopped seeing humans as humans, and we've started seeing them as monsters or ants. And don't. Every time you get into an argument with somebody, every time you disagree with somebody, I just want you guys to think about it and say, this is just another person with a different point of view. That doesn't mean you can't work to change it. I think that dialogue is hugely important in all this stuff. It's the only way that we as a collective, we as a species can come to a consensus in the middle. We have to pull in the radicals on either side and get them closer to what the majority of the people believe, which is that people should be alive and happy, right? But when you don't see the person with the other opinion than you as a person, you see them as something that just is in your way, what do you do with things that are in your way? You remove them. It's sad, but it's logical, and we got to stop looking at people that way. And I don't know if there's a happy ending to this video, because there doesn't seem to be a happy ending in sight for us right now as a society. But as you go throughout your day, maybe just treat people a little bit differently. Even if you hate them, even if you think they might be evil, they're still a human being, and you got to treat them that way. Because if we don't, this is the kind of stuff that happens. This is the kind of stuff that becomes regular. And if one side starts doing it and the other side starts doing it, and nobody wins, we just end up looking everywhere but the mirror and see monsters. And who wants to live in a world surrounded by monsters? I don't. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Maybe leave your comments below, and I'm gonna hope that the world gets better and people start to see the truth. So, all right, much love. Peace out.